Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's layout update. Normally I post on Sundays, but my daughter, the con artist, came over last night to help me do some menial task, and somehow I ended up taking her and my wife out to dinner, and which was her plan. So happy delay, because anytime we can spend time with her, it makes me happy. So why am I showing you this? Well, I worked on this water scene a little bit, and it looks a little bit better. There's still a little haze on the epoxy. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I have a whole series of this area that I worked on and how it got screwed up, and I redid it, and the epoxy does not want to dry and be hard and clear. So I got it hot last night in here, and or not last night, but Saturday night. I got it like 80 degrees in the train room. I heated that up with the heat gun and tried to get it to, get rid of the fog or whatever in the water. And it just really didn't do all that much. So it's just going to stay the way it is now, and I'm going to leave it at that. Now this epoxy over here was the exact same bottles, the exact same mixture, the exact same amount. Hard as a rock, clear as glass, and looks phenomenal. So what did I do different? Absolutely nothing, except for this is about 1/4 of an inch thick, and the other one's maybe 1/2 of an inch thick. So who knows, but I'm done screwing with it now. All right, so I've been painting like crazy lately and doing some decal work. 411 got a little bit of love on the class lights and number boards. I think I even put some numbers on the side of the cab. Yeah, pretty sure I did that too. 2 Kato GP35s have been painted. They just need decals. RSD12 has been painted. It'll get decals. RS3 has been painted. It just needs decals. Now these two are going to have the multi-stripe original as delivered scheme for the Allegheny Midland, which is also the exact same scheme as the nickel plate. And I'm a little hesitant to do this because all those stripes have to be perfect or they look like crap, and there's a certain procedure that you're going to have to do or go through when you decal these locomotives. You got multiple stripes on the cabs, and those have to be put on first before you do anything else. So I'll be working on those a little bit this week. These are pretty simple, so I'll work on those too as well. And actually 411 needs some decals. What else did I do over here? Oh, I put the nose light on. I don't let me see that. But I put that on last night too. I've been working on this 50-foot Midland Road, Allegheny Midland, was it kaolin? Yeah, kaolin car. It's like a gray powdery clay thing. And that's why it's got the doors on the top. Milwaukee Road had cars like this that it hauled barley in. Virginia and Ohio also had kaolin cars and all that. So I finished up the paint on the very first Allegheny Midland caboose, and I realized I didn't have any decals. So I have to order decals for the caboose. I've spent like $100 on decals this month, so that might just have to wait a little bit. And you're probably saying, Rob, the stripe's not white. Well, the stripe wasn't supposed to be white. It's an aluminum gray color. And but in all the pictures that looks white, and all the paint jobs like on Athearn and Atlas have always done, it's white. But it's not white, it's aluminum gray. All right, let's see what else. Nothing in here. No changes. Still a hot mess over there on the workbench. But Thursday night's video will be a different DCC install on an upgraded Atlas. So you can come check that one out, because this New York Central was probably just going to get the guts taken out of it and become a dummy, because I'm not going to waste any more time and effort on putting DCC in that old locomotive. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check out last Thursday's video, and you'll know. So I swung by Hobby Lobby the other day, my favorite place, and I picked up these two half tracks. I need to blast them with some olive drab green, and then those will be loads for some flat cars. I can't remember if I talked about this last week or not, but probably. I picked up another 2% incline, and just like the incline that we're about to visit here shortly, I will convert that to a 1% by stretching it out from 16 feet to 32 feet. Also, I bought out Mike's Trains entire supply of number 6 code 83 turnouts, and I'm looking forward to installing those. And a couple of those, or actually all of those, are going to be down here. So this at one time was the Beltline yard, interchange yard. And if you're new here, this whole section here is going to be a yard. And this is a little short line here. And he comes in over here, but I was re-looking where my yard lead and my house track is going to be, so I can take the 2 turnouts that I had originally right here, and I can move them back about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, probably about 2 feet. So they'll be back here, so I have a little bit more capacity right here between the main line and the two tracks. I've also decided that the track that the cars are on there, that's for the freight house, and that's the old main line that went up and over the Pennsy and the Allegheny Midland over here. I wanted to make it look like that was just abandoned, but I really think it'd be cool to be able to shove cars up there and take photographs, like, you know, either cars in storage or maybe like a train coming across, just, you know, depends on your angle. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will be working on that here shortly. Probably here. I need to get it done before May because I want it to be in for the open house. So this part here will get painted. This is pretty steep too, because once again, if you're new, this used to be an interurban, kind of based on the Illinois terminal. And if you go to like Google or Bing or whatever and do an image search of Bement, Illinois, you'll end up finding a photograph of the Wabash Chicago main line with the Illinois terminal going over top. And since I grew up in that area, I always thought that was a real cool little spot. And so this is my little, I don't know, memory of it that looks absolutely nothing like it, but it reminds me of it. That's the inspiration, I guess, on where I'm coming from. All right, let's go back down. Oh, well, let me address this. So Beautiful Apple Creek here is probably going to get renamed since I'm changing locations and everything. So this will probably have a new name. AC Tower, I think, is going to be renamed GM Tower for my grandson, my Grant Michael. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I got a couple other towers around here. There'll probably be a JM Tower for my son. Let's see, JR Tower for my other son. And let's see, JG Tower maybe. Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. We'll see about that one. But I got a lot of work to do over here. I originally had decided these little spots here were going to be off ramps and on ramps to this McClellan Avenue. And I think I might just fill that in and say to heck with that and not have the on and off ramps there. Just have the tracks going across with the underpass or the highway bypass going underneath. I've also decided that I think this road here, I was going to block that off, but now I'm not going to. I'm going to put a grade crossing in there. And I think this is going to be King Street, McClellan Avenue, Howard Street. I think I'm going to rename, even though that's named after my grandmother. I think I'm going to rename it. And that's going to be Custer Street. And we'll rename this little area up here Howard Square. And then there's a theme there between the 3 original owners and operators of the Appalachian lines. So I think that'd be kind of a neat little tribute to them guys. You know, funny story about Steve King. So Tony Custer was sent an email, and there is somebody out there producing Allegheny Midland decals that are not accurate whatsoever. And so I was included in that because I'm the president of the Allegheny Midland Historical Society on Facebook. So come find me and check me out there. And I don't know what happened. I guess Steve King's email got hacked, but I got an email from somebody claiming to be Steve King of the Virginia Midland Model Railroad, asking for a favor, wanting me to go buy gift cards and all this other stuff for him. And I'm like, so I emailed that to Tony, or sent that to Tony Custer, and I'm like, hey, I think Steve got hacked. But the email address was almost exactly the same as Steve King's email address, but it was off by 1 digit. So, I mean, he got hacked, obviously, but it was pretty wild. It was funny. It made me laugh. I'm like, I've never even talked to Steve King. Why would I be asking, Rob for a favor? Okay, so that's your funny story for the moment. Okay, so if you remember this monstrosity, I really messed this up. And it was real nasty looking, but I went through and I was doing some tile work the other day. And I had a whole bunch of mortar left over because I screwed up the mixture. So I had a ton of it. So I came out here and I tried to redo this to make it look more like rock. And my idea was blasted rock. And I'm not saying it looks great. I'm saying it looks better. But most of the time when I do something, I'm not happy with it. And then I start working on it, and I work on it, and I work on it, and it comes around. So what I'm going to take is a wire wheel on one of my drills, and I'm going to kind of go along and knock off all these rough spots. And I think it will look pretty good after that. And at some point, I'll go through and paint some umbers and some raw umbers, burn umbers, and stuff like that, and kind of make it look like layers all the way across. And you kind of see where I hit it with some lighter gray. And I think it's going to look okay. I think it's going to look okay. So now I can concentrate on the mountain scene divider. And at least from this point over there. And I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to, well, I will say I think it's going to work out. But I'm a lot more positive about the outcome now than what I was prior to. I got a little issue over here. I had some ballast came up, and so I'm gonna have to redo this curve. So all I'll do is take the vacuum, suck all this stuff up, and then just put down new ballast. And I think I had this curve elevated as well, so I'll go back and try to redo that again. Okay, so if you remember from last week's video, and the weeks before, I've been talking about redoing this piece of plywood and cutting it down. So I cut down both pieces of plywood here, and you're probably asking, Rob, what the hell are you doing? Well, this is going to be the basis for the cardboard strips to come from this point down to here, so I can make this whole faux mountain going on. And then this sky blue, probably right in this area, will be painted dark green. So hopefully it'll blend seamlessly between this and the green above, and you won't really realize that there's a track back here hiding a main line, but yeah, you'll still be able to access it in case there's a derailment. Now, is it going to be easy to get back there? No, but that's okay because I got a ladder. And then eventually this whole peninsula here with that big beautiful bridge that still needs to be installed, this whole peninsula is going to have a second level, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm going to start working on this whole section here after the May open house, along with the yard and everything else, because in a year and 15 months from now, when I have my second open house, I'm hoping to have a lot more done. Hopefully people come back and check it out and be like, hey man, that's cool. Did a lot of work, bro. Okay, let's go over here. Oh. So this little coal mine here, I painted the roof brown, and here probably in the next couple weeks I will paint this maybe a dingy looking gray, and then at some point before May it will have Green Mountain painted on the wall behind it, and that way there, when I use my InPixio AI program that's supposed to be oh so smart, and do my sky insertion, it will not fade out the whole building and make the building look, you know, like part of the sky, like the sky reflecting above it or something like that, because it's got some issues. I think this is going to be a real cool scene, because when you're standing like right here, you're not really seeing that main line on the left. You're just seeing, you know, RS Tower down there, and, you know, the 2 tracks and signals and stuff like that. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. Lots going on. So I put some power drops in. The 3 tracks to Hudson 1. Not the neatest install, but it'll get cleaned up as I go along. I got a few more bracing and pieces of bracing and stuff to put down here. And of course, you know, I'm like a 12-year-old. I got everything shoved underneath to hide it, but it works. Now, let's go with that. I'm gonna save the best for last. Okay, so I'm in the process of working on this scene right here, and there's so many things to do before I can get to what I really want to do. So I also will be working, hopefully this week. I kind of got it figured out. I'll be building this section out about 1 inch so I can take some more of these L-type pieces of styrofoam and make a faux tunnel coming down, which will be able to lift out in case of a derailment. And once I get that in, I can start doing the transition from this hilltop to my mountain transition and all that. So I'm gonna buy some 1 inch cardboard strips off of Amazon. They're like $50, but I can get like a couple hundred of them, and I don't have to waste a bunch of time cutting them. Even though cutting them is free, I can just spend the money and save myself a whole lot of time. Okay, I built this little part here to match my abutment and the bridge. I will trim this off here and make this match a little bit coming back this way. And then I will end up taking maybe a piece of plaster cloth and covering this and then painting it and then putting it back in. But I got to be mindful what I do, because this bridge is going to have to come out once I figure out where the track's going to go underneath and where I'm going to have my little pond and all that stuff at. And then I have to transition the walls and whatnot. And then I have to do the same thing all across the back and everything, and then put the bridge back in when I'm done. So I got to remember not to do too much, but here real soon, this abutment and that abutment will be glued in place, and I'll just be pulling the bridge in and out as necessary. Okay, let me think. I know there's something else. Okay, all the track in here, I will be taking all the mountains down and painting all this brown and putting some ties in, and then cleaning the track off, of course, and then this stuff should get glued down permanently this week or next week, since I got it all painted. Now, I know it looks like ass, but you have to bear with me. You know, small steps, and there's stages to every bit of construction. So this is like step 3 out of about 50 to make this look like a rock cut mountains and all this other stuff. So just keep coming back and checking it out. And if it turns out to look like ass, then you're more than welcome to tell me that sucks. Let's see, one last thing here. 429 got some windshield wipers. Come on, focus. What the hell's going on my phone tonight? I'm liking the way it's looking. It sounds great with that Tsunami decoder in there, and it runs awesome. So I'm looking forward to putting in another decoder in the matching units, and it's going to be running great. All right, so the coup de grace of all my efforts of this week. And if you get on the community side of my community side of my YouTube, you will see multiple pictures of this culvert that I'm working on right there, and that I haven't been happy with it, and I've been working on it and working on it and working on it, and now I think it's good. What do you think? Now the grass, this is the first time I use my static grass applicator. I've had it for a while. Some of it's standing up, some of it's laying down. This stuff here is laid kind of like at an angle, but it looks like it flooded and pushed all the weeds and grass down. And this side here did pretty good. I put in some cattails, a bunch of riprap. This is essentially a dam, so that's why that's there. But it looks pretty cool. So I poured this epoxy this morning, and I put a heater on it. I took a whole bunch of styrofoam and basically built a cocoon around this and put the heater right in there and let the heater go for about 8 hours, 9 hours. And I really like the way this looks. I was going to take a photo here for my thumbnail tonight, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise. Now, I use this stuff called Realistic Water. I think it's $20 or $25 a bottle. I only used this much, so the rest of it I hope will last, and I'll end up doing some water over here someplace just so I can use that up. And I'm really liking this scene and the way it's coming around. I got to paint the turnouts there from where I rebuilt it from that Shinohara piece of crap 3-way that I had. And the only trouble that I think I may have is right here where this ground throw is going to be. I think I might not have enough clearance. But I will figure it out. But I need to paint that, and then I can lay some ballast and start doing a bunch of other scenery and stuff. So I'm gonna practice with my my grass applicator. And I have some scenes. If you go back and look at some of my short videos, I have a couple of things. I have one that was called creating a thumbnail, and it's just me taking a piece of foam that already had some basic ground foam and stuff on there, and I just put some houses and barns and stuff on there and take a picture. So I think those dioramas that I made will get the grass application as practice. I got different sizes. I think this is 7mm, and maybe I should have used a different size. But I think it would look better also if I got different color grass. So I need to buy a darker grass. And I think this part here I'm going to paint green. So it will look like this, but down here. And I think it will look better when the grass is on there. So we'll experiment with that a little bit this week. And I might even make a little video about that. But eventually I'll do a tutorial on the static grass applicator. And we'll go from there. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. It's been 21 minutes, no edits, no breaks, me rambling. Going once, going twice. Oh, so last week I had an intro from Joseph Trainiac. Go check out his channel, give him a like and a subscribe. He sent me an email earlier with a kit bash of the Great Western number 60. It's a 280. And he did a phenomenal job on that. It was cool. So maybe we can get him to post that on his YouTube. That'd be pretty sweet. All right, I think that's it. I thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Come back on Thursday and see that DCC install on the updated Alco Roco Atlas locomotive. Thanks, man.